Krisztina, and I'm standing here with Lightheart. He's a 3 times Canadian all-natural bodybuilder championship. He won, and he has a degree in sports science, and author of 4 great books. One of them is Staying Alive in a Toxic World.
Yep.
So he's all over the world, over 80 countries, they know him. And he's an athlete, trainer, and he knows more about Kangen water than anyone else. So wait, when were you first introduced to Kangen water?
7 years ago, a couple people gave me a call and told me about this crazy water from Japan, and it did this and that and everything. And I was like, come on, man. As a professional athlete, I would get approached pretty much every week about some product or things like that. And every now and then something comes true, and you know, it sounded a little outrageous and it sounded a little too good to be true, but with enough persistence, they persisted, and I went to my first demonstration. And from that, I had my first glass of water, which tasted different. I felt different in my body. I drank 4 glasses in about a minute, and I did a quick, simple test. I jumped up and down like this, and the water didn't slosh around in my stomach. So I was like, wait a minute. Normal water would have sloshed around in my stomach. There's something going on with this. Well, long story short, I went to the demonstration. I watched the whole stuff. The person sharing it with me didn't have a background in science, didn't have a background in health or wellness. They were just very passionate about it. And their presentation, though, was pretty solid. But what blew me away was the next day I went to the gym, and I drank about a gallon of the water that night, that's a lot of water, but I drink a lot of water. When I went to the gym the next day, my recovery time between my sets was changed. I had more energy. I was like, water can do this? I've been studying water for a long time. I've been a sports nutritionist. This is what I do. And from there, I started doing some experiments on the water. Of course, I made a comeback, and the rest is history. And then back then, I suggested, I ended up writing a book about it, what every athlete needs to know about hydration, like hydration breakthrough, right? And I said, this will be the de facto hydration product for athletes around the world in the next 10 years. The reason being, bigger, faster, stronger. You recover quicker, you have more oxygen to the body, you remove metabolic waste, you remove the delayed onset muscle soreness. That means you can train more often, more frequently, harder and longer, and that makes you a better athlete. And virtually every single athlete that drinks the water in the proportions that we suggest, and that's 1 ounce per pound of body weight, experiences radical training benefits in their recovery, especially with the removal of the metabolic toxins. You get the muscle soreness and stuff, and you're right back at the gym or on the playing field. And there's really nothing quite like it.
So you already answered my second question. So my next question is, what would you tell athletes who's watching this right now?
Absolutely.
To understand that water is not just water.
Right.
Like how everybody thinks, I already been drinking water, right? I'm drinking sports drinks, and kind of have the knowledge about it, but why is this water so different than the other water?
That's a great question, because if you go out in the marketplace today, there is an absolute plethora of smart water and this water and oxygen water and deoxygenated water and ionized water and alkaline water, and there's all these different waters, and then there's the sports drinks, and there's the minerals, and there's recovery, and this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and everybody's got the magic bullet. But the reality is, the absolute metabolic cellular reality is we're able to take a water out of your tap, filter it, take all the chemical compounds out of it, and then ionize. So that is alkalized water, not alkaline water. I can throw minerals into water and say I have alkaline water. This is ionized. In other words, we're creating hydrolysis inside the cell. That is creating a hydrogen gas. That hydrogen gas releases an electron into the body that bonds with the burnt oxygen out of the cell, and you get an extra oxygen. And if you get more oxygen into the cell, you can train harder, you can train longer, you can train more frequently. That makes you a better athlete. The other benefit is, and we're going back to William Ager's research on cellular hydration, dealing with how water goes in and outside the cells. Demonstrates that the molecule that we're producing is a smaller molecule. It has a lower osmotic pressure. That means it gets into the cell, hydrating the cell, not outside the cell. And a lot of these beverages that people are drinking, they're drinking the beverage, but the water's not getting in, or the beverage is not getting into the cell. So they're outside the cell, they're overhydrated, and inside the cell, they're dehydrated, which is creating osmotic pressure. And I have a theory, that this is one of the contributing factors to the rash of concussions. People are drinking beverages, but the water's not getting in the cell where you need it. So, for every athlete out there that's seen this or thinking about it, what you need to do, you need to get one of these machines, and you need to drink the water fresh, 1 ounce per pound of body weight. Monitor your delayed onset muscle soreness, check your oxygen levels. You can do a live blood cell analysis. You can see on the microscope how your blood cells are moving. You will feel the difference. It is absolutely incredible. I'm so excited to be part of the project, because the reality is we're now able to improve the health of athletes along with improving their performance. And at the end of the day, everybody wins from that.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
We wish you continued success.
Thank you very much.
Fun to have you around as usual.
You bet.
And I meet you in Budapest.
All right. Thank you.